Spider-Man's spider sense can feel the multiverse. In the comics, every spider-person is connected through the web of life and destiny, a mystical 5-dimensional network that links every Spider-Totem across every reality. The theory argues that if spider sense draws information from that web, it may not be limited to sensing danger in Peter's own universe. A warning with no obvious source could be reacting to something happening to another spider-person somewhere else in the multiverse. Marvel has never confirmed that spider sense works this way, but the web of life leaves the possibility wide open. So how many timelines is one spider sense actually listening to? Hulk is not powered by Gamma. He is powered by trauma. The Gamma bomb is the delivery system, not the source, because Bruce Banner's mind was already fractured years earlier by his father's abuse. Immortal Hulk leans into this directly, framing the monster as a protector built to survive a house that was never safe. The different personas, Savage Hulk, Joe Fixit, aren't random noise. Fans read them as separate ages and defense mechanisms stacked on top of each other. Gamma just gave that rage an indestructible body to live inside. So, was Bruce ever cured, or just handed a stronger cage? The Mind Stone did not create Wanda. WandaVision spends a full episode proving it, Agatha walking Wanda through her own memories. Kid Wanda casts a working probability hex to stop a live bomb years before touching an Infinity Stone. Agatha's read is blunt. Wanda was born a witch. The stone only woke something already there. That turns Age of Ultron's origin into a cover story. Dormant power dressed up as a lab accident. Some fans push further, pointing at Pietro's speed, a trait the Mind Stone has never granted anyone else, and asking if Wanda unlocked it herself. So what part of the twins' powers ever really belonged to Hydra? Mjolnir was never Thor's real power. Odin says it outright. The hammer focuses what Thor already has, and Ragnarok proves it when Thor loses Mjolnir and unleashes lightning strong enough to fight Hela without it. Some fans go further and call it a limiter, something Odin built to contain power, too dangerous for a young, hot-headed god to hold raw. That still leaves the enchantment. Whoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, which is why Cap can lift it too. The theory reads that line as Odin depositing a working copy of Thor's power inside the metal. So when Cap swings it at Thanos, there are technically 2 gods of thunder on that field. The serum did not make Steve Rogers good. Before the vial, scrawny Steve throws himself on a live grenade to protect the men around him. That's not muscle talking. Erskine picks him for exactly that, warning the formula only amplifies what's already inside a person. Good becomes great, bad becomes worse. Give the same formula to someone unstable and you get Red Skull. Give it to John Walker and you get a soldier who cracks the second it gets real. Steve was already picking fights he couldn't win years before any of this.
Pop, do you?
I can do this all day.
The serum didn't build Captain America. It just gave a good man a body that could finally keep up. Doctor Strange's real power is dying. His win against Dormammu isn't a spell or a punch, it's Strange trapping them both in a time loop and letting himself get killed thousands of times until Dormammu simply can't take it anymore. That's outlasting a being older than the universe through pure willingness to die. Multiverse of Madness pushes it darker. Strange dreamwalking directly into the corpse of his own dead variant just to access power the living version can't touch. Fans call this his real defining trait more than any spell in the book, an almost total absence of fear around his own mortality. What happens the day he meets something death can't outloop? Captain Marvel is a living space stone accident. Carol Danvers gains her powers when she destroys Mar-Vell's lightspeed engine, triggering an explosion fueled by the Tesseract, the housing for the space stone itself. Rather than killing her, that energy rewrites her at the cellular level, leaving her able to absorb and project enormous amounts of cosmic power. The theory argues that Carol didn't simply receive powers from the Space Stone. She became permanently infused with its energy, almost like a human extension of the Infinity Stone itself. That idea also fits the Marvels, where her powers become mysteriously linked with Monica Rambeau and Kamala Khan. So how much of Captain Marvel's power still belongs to Carol, and how much belongs to the Space Stone? Loki's magic is not destiny, it is survival. Every trick starts from the same place, needing to hide, escape, or outsmart someone stronger. Frigga teaches him illusions because he can't outmuscle Thor, turning deception into his greatest weapon. In the Dark World, he fakes his own death, while classic Loki later reveals he survived Thanos by casting an illusion so perfect that even the Mad Titan believed it. Strip his magic away entirely in the TVA, and he doesn't fall apart. He simply replaces spells with manipulation. Proving survival was never about the magic itself. By the end of Loki Season 2, the tricks are gone, but the instinct remains. His greatest act isn't winning a fight. It's sacrificing everything so everyone else can keep living. Ghost power is killing her, and Ant-Man and the Wasp treats that as the actual plot. Ava Starr's molecular disequilibrium means her body is constantly tearing apart.
Hi, I'm Ava. I'm not gonna hurt.
And reassembling at the cellular level, a byproduct of the same quantum accident that killed both her parents. That's why she phases through walls, and why she describes living in constant severe pain. SHIELD promised to fix her for years and never did, because a weapon this useful was more valuable broken. Janet is the first person who actually tries, stabilizing her with quantum energy, while Scott risks getting trapped in the quantum realm gathering healing particles just for her, which flips the villain framing of the whole film inside out. Tony Stark's real superpower was his heart, and Marvel makes that literal before it's ever metaphorical. The arc reactor keeps shrapnel from finishing what the bomb started, doing double duty as power source and life support from the first film onward. Pepper engraves proof that Tony Stark has a heart on the original casing, and that line carries the whole arc from flying a nuclear missile into a wormhole with no guaranteed way back, to the final snap in Endgame he takes knowing exactly what it costs his body.
Stark, you know that's a one-way trip.
Save the rest for the turn, Jay.
The suits are armor, built around the one thing that was never mechanical, which makes that glowing circle in his chest less of a gadget, more of a receipt. Sam Wilson proves the serum never mattered. He picks up the shield with zero biological enhancement, replacing the vial with vibranium tech, aerial combat, and para-rescue training built on so others may live. Erskine's own rule backs this up. The serum only amplifies what's already inside someone, meaning Steve's compassion was the reason he got picked, not a side effect of the formula. John Walker is the clean counterexample. Serum and shield both, still ends up publicly disgraced. Sam stood next to Steve through the Accord's fallout with no serum at all, and Steve saw it anyway. So when Sam finally holds the shield, the real question is why anyone assumed the serum was ever the requirement. Sentry's power created the Void, and the two were never actually separate. Robert Reynolds' serum didn't just hand him godlike strength, it amplified his entire psyche, and Bob's psyche came preloaded with agoraphobia, schizophrenia, and depression, the comics name directly.
I'm Bob.
Fans describe it as a cosmic seesaw. Every act of heroism the Sentry performs, his fractured mind demands an equal, opposite act of devastation, built physical by his own reality-warping power. One retcon adds a psychic virus planted by Mastermind, pushing a private hallucination into something that actually exists in the world. Marvel has never fully settled which version is canon, but every interpretation agrees on one thing. The more good Bob tries to do, the more room the Void gets to exist.